Hello everyone, welcome back again. This video is intended to provide you a step-by-step approach to creating multiple floors. If the previous video wasn't detailed enough to get you started, again I was relying on the skill that you have built from a previous assignment. However, once again, if you're struggling with that or were unable to do this video will illustrate the step-by-step process to start the project from the beginning to the end. So if you obviously are not in my class, you don't have access to this document, the houseplans.net URL is in the comments, or not the comments, but the description itself. So anyway, moving forward, as I said, we're going to kind of go from the ground up approach. Ultimately, as I referred to this design in my previous video, we're going to try to create 2 floors using a simple floor plan and then messing around with the stairs. As like I said, I'm going to detail this step by step. So we're going to close this all together. We'll come back to this in a moment. And as I said, houseplans.net can be accessed through my description, or if you're a student in my class, you can obviously grab that through the document in my Google Classroom. So we're going to go to the advanced search. Just to kind of tie this in with the assignment that this is posted with, I want to follow the following parameters here just to kind of simplify the floor plan. I don't want to spend more time than is necessary recreating this. So if you take a look, we're going to go from 8 to 2,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 stories, and 0 garage. So I'm just going to move this over to the left here, and we are going to put in 800. I'm going to press tab on the keyboard, 2,500 for the next field. I'm going to click the 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 stories, 0 garage. At this point, with the following filters applied, you should see pretty much the exact same results as I see. I'm going to choose plan 255-9-00849, which is the one that I reference in the document here. You don't have to, but once again, I'm not trying to overly complicate this process. I want to obviously use a simple floor plan to create 2 floors, which is the main focus of this assignment. So we're going to click on the actual document. I'm sorry, the listing. We're looking at 1,300, almost 1,400 square feet. That's not including the basement if there is one. 3 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms. I'm sorry, 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. The 1/2 bath, obviously, we are filtering, so some of the filters obviously aren't going to be exact. So we did specify 2 baths. We also have a 1/2 bath, which obviously won't have a shower or a bathtub in it, but a toilet. It has 2 stories, 26 feet wide. It's deeper in depth of 34 feet. As you can see, it's a rectangle with the shortest leg facing forward, right? So we're going to scroll down and take a look at the floor plans. And as you can see here, we have obviously the first floor. We're going to ignore the patio and the porch at this point. But as you can see from the picture here, we have a cantilevered roof. That is considered the porch, with probably a poured pad, and then probably some sort of deck or patio in the back. We're going to ignore those for the purpose of today's video. Analyzing the floor plan, it looks like as you enter the front door, you could take a left and go upstairs. If we go to the second floor, we will continue up these stairs to a mid-landing, take a right, and then go up into the main hallway here. That's going to give you access to the master bedroom, the 2 other bedrooms, a linen closet, a bathroom. There's obviously the master bath, the upstairs bath for the other 2 bedrooms, a walk-in closet for the master bath, and then obviously 2 standard closets for the regular bedrooms. They also have windows. In order for a bedroom to qualify, we need to have obviously a closet, a window, and then obviously a door. So that qualifies at this point. So now they kind of generally understand the the layout. Understanding our dimensions on the floor plan is also important. And so I'm going to use my screen capture tool to illustrate excuse me, the dimensions here. So we have 12 feet 10 feet 6 inches. So the question is, which one's width, which one's height? So pick a room that's rectangular if you're unsure. This room clearly is rectangular, as you can see that it is wider than it is deep, right? If we were to pick a different color, right? This is our depth measurement. So obviously you have two numbers here to pick. So the 12 foot is obviously the horizontal or the width, and the 10 feet 6 inches is the depth. So we just at least know that. That's important to know before we move on. All right, so let's save these documents. And once again, we're going to grab our screen capture tool. I'll grab the second floor first. We can grab the area that we want to see. We're going to hit the disk. And when you do so, I've already done this. You can see I saved floor 1 and floor 2. Okay? They're physically in different size. This one's 539 by 709 for pixels. So you're looking at 542 601. This is 539 709. So there's some extra depth here to this because we have the patio and the porch. But when we import these into Floor Planner, we can fix that problem. So we're going to cancel out. I already have these saved to speed things up. We're going to go over to Floor Planner. And when we go to Floor Planner, you're going to go to your account the way that you normally would with your Google sign-in. Go to your dashboard. You'll see education, hopefully at this point, because in order to do the paid features, you obviously need to upgrade to the education account by clicking my invite link that I posted in the Google Classroom. The basic account does not give you the ability to do multiple floors. So, we're going to start over. As you can see, my students that have started, I can see that they're adding the second floors, and they're working on, obviously, the interior layouts. Because I have students associated to my account, I get to see there's projects. So we're going to create a new account. We're going to call it multiple floors step by step. I don't have any address in mind, so at this point that's an irrelevant moment. What we're going to do is upload an image for floor 1. So we're just going to click upload an image. We've done this before. You're going to then, in the backdrop area, choose the file, and we are going to go to the desktop and choose floor design. There's where my two files are. We're going to start with floor we're going to start with floor 1. We're going to say OK. And at this point, the question is, do we want to rotate it? What type of transparency do we want it to be set to? We want it obviously somewhere where it's faded. We can get rid of this when we're done. We're going to then draw a line to something that we know the size of. So we're going to take a look. Looking at the diagram here, and the numbers are a little bit on the limited in terms of the rooms. But if you take a look here, we have a rectangle with a defined size. So it's 22 feet wide, it's 6 feet deep. So we know from this point over to this point that it's 22 feet. That's all we need in order to tie this drawing into reality. So I'm going to click this, and I'm just going to drag, actually click and drag, click and release, sorry. Let's zoom in to make sure this is somewhat accurate. And since this is center points, we're in the middle of that square, and you're off by a couple inches, it's no big deal. But at that point, that line is going to be specified as 22 feet. So it's asking what length are we going to put it in. We want to select feet for the imperial, and we're going to do 22 apostrophe, and then say OK. At this point, this drawing has been scaled to the size that we want it to be. One of the things I'm curious about, and I don't know yet moving forward, is this the origin, meaning an x and y 0, and can this help us eliminate some problems we're going to have in the future? But at this point, I don't know. So at this moment, we have our size. We're going to then draw our walls. We'll leave them at 5 7/8 because we're going to focus on exterior. We're going to leave our heights the way they are by default. And we are just going to draw our first exterior wall. Click and release. And remember, this house was around 26 feet in width according to the website. And as you can see, 26 feet, 6 inches and 7/8. That's close enough at this point. And then we're just going to create our floor plan. So moving forward, we're just going to obviously trace around the exterior as best we can, ignoring windows and doors. So I'm going to zoom out so I can get a better view of what I'm doing. We're going to put it here. You want to try to maintain your snaps and align with the walls that you've already created as you're going. I'm going to go up here. As I said, this is a step-by-step process, so if you already got this process, then of course you can fast forward the video to get to a section that's useful to you. Make sure you snap. Now we have our corners. I have one room that is defined at this moment as unnamed, right? This one room is what is there. So I'm going to quickly take a look at the second floor design. And the second floor design, just for the sake of ease and speed, let's take a look at the second floor. And if we take a look here, bedroom 3 is going to be right over here, the living room. Bedroom 2 is going to kind of be over the stairs. The dining room is going to be under the bathroom and the master bedroom, or the master bedroom's closet. And then the half bath on the first floor will be, and the kitchen will be underneath the master bedroom. Just to show you some things that are linked together, right? The corner of this house relates to the corner of that second floor, right? This corner relates to here, right? That corner relates to here. And obviously the corner that's not here because there's a patio, there might be some additional adjustments, relates to here. Looking at where we're at, we should be able to duplicate the first floor to create the second floor. I'm just trying to see if I want to put in the stairwell wall here, right? Because whatever I do on the first floor, I'm going to duplicate it to create the second floor. And I'm just deciding if that wall would be helpful. And we remember that wall, and once again, in case you've lost what I'm talking about, this wall right here that I'm pointing at in both locations, it's the same wall. It's just, it goes upwards. So that probably would be a useful one to keep. So I'm going to draw that stairwell in on the first floor and then delete what doesn't need to be there. So let's go back to Floor Planner. And what I was talking about, draw a wall. We're going to put one here. And we can delete these as they're duplicated upstairs. But at this point, I'm going to kind of, in general, rough in some areas that would be important to me. Like this wall here specifically. Because we're going to come upstairs and go around the corner. So this wall is important to kind of probably be there. I'm going to draw this wall to connect. You might see a door here. We will add doors after. The doors will be what cuts the walls. We don't want to leave breaks in. So just to give you an example, 2D versus 3D, right? It's kind of hard to tell what they look like in 2D. So when we switch to 3D, you can kind of see. And then there's additional options style-wise after you've placed it. So I'm just going to take this guy here and then drag it onto the wall that was solid, and then it cuts the wall for you. If you click on the door, you can switch the swing side and the hinge side, as you can see. It's important to pay attention to which way doors open. I challenge you to study the doors and which direction they open in your house and think about logic and why that would open that direction versus the other options they had. Anyway, we have our first floor basically done with the exception of obviously the bathroom here and some of the divisions, but for the most part, what we need upstairs is already on the downstairs. So here's how we create a second floor. We're going to click the, let's get rid of these tools. And we're going to, actually we do need the tools open. Click here where it says first floor, and then we have this add floor. We don't want to click this. This is if we want to create a blank floor. We want to keep something similar to the first floor in the same location. So we need to duplicate our first floor. So when you click the gear, you will see a duplicate setting, and you will see the height of the ceiling that it will be and what you're going to be copying. Okay, that's the name of the layer, or the floor. So we're going to duplicate first floor by clicking duplicate. And we are going to, it's already at the top because move up is already grayed out. If I wanted to move it below, we can move it below if we needed to make a basement. So we're just not going to call this first floor copy. We're going to call this second floor. Second floor. Okay, so we have our second floor. It's at the top. This is our height. We could change it if we wanted taller ceilings for a creative project in the future. If you wanted, you probably can even assign, no, you can't assign colors. So that's it. So our second floor is done. If I switch, here's first floor, here's second floor. It was from the first design as the name, so don't get that confused, okay? How you can make sure you have two floors is if you switch to 3D and you're on your second floor, you can right click and drag, you will see a second floor. When you click the little gear and change this to, why can't I show you this? Show floors below. I'm sorry, I just didn't see it. And then you can put a little separation between it, as if, let's say, there could even be floor joists, right? Subfloor area. But it just helps you kind of visualize what you're looking at and the fact that you actually do have two floors. Want to see what's inside them, obviously at that point, and you could kind of mess around with the height at which the camera is looking at it and really understand what it is you're seeing. Now, if you decorate your floor before you duplicate it, you will duplicate the actual interior furniture and whatever else you've added. So make sure that you don't add more work to your plate by duplicating things you are going to delete. So anyway, switching to 2D, we need to now kind of figure out where stairs are going to go. This may not be perfect because I don't want to keep this video to obviously much longer than it needs to be. I'm already about 17 minutes into it, so I apologize. However, we're going to go down to the first floor. All right, and the question is, what's going on here that we need to do upstairs? And I didn't even put in the second floor background information. All right, let me see if I can get rid of this. We have to go to 2D, that's why. Like if I went to background information, where is it? Background settings, I don't have an image like this on the second floor. I can look at it and reference it, or if I want, I can add it, okay? I'm gonna leave it blank at the moment because I'm only focusing on stairs. So we're gonna go down to first floor and understand our stairs need to go up this direction. And then it actually takes a corner and goes up. So that might be a challenging thing to do with this program, but I wanna see what this is like unrehearsed. So let's go over to here. Under structures, we're going to take a look at some stairs. This one is a landing upwards. This is a spiral. This looks like a corner it might be able to use. There could be other this kind of looks more appropriate, where we have stairs that kind of go up halfway, take a right, and then go up again. That's, I think, what we want. So I'm going to drag this guy out. And I think I'm going to probably have to rotate this. So I'm going to place it in. And then I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Right, from its original. So you could put in -180 or so forth. But That, I believe, is the way that it's going to be placed. And now we're just going to use our arrow keys to kind of like nudge it into the right location. I do want to resize it. So that's this guy here. And I can then do this. But here's the issue. I'm stretching this wide and this is getting long. So that's not going to work. So we might need to create several staircases and then modify its location after they've been placed. So let's get it back to the original shape. Let's put it into the position that it's going to be in if we can't change its size. I think it's going to be placed here. We'll find out when we go to 3D. At this point, I'm going to leave this, switch to 3D on the first floor, take a look and see what's happening. Okay, we take a look here. We kind of have the stairs going up. They're interfering with the walls, as you can see, but it does take that right-hand corner. It goes up almost the height that we need. And if I click on this, I have how wide the stairs are. Don't be confused by length. Then we have this direction. That's how deep the stairs go back. But you can't independently change the specific geometry of just like one leg of this angled stairwell. Let's go to the second floor. And this is where the two floors kind of separated from distance becomes helpful. So we're going to kind of bring this here, lower the camera view, go to the gear setting. Let's just figure out how this is going to work mentally. The stairs should kind of come out over here. And if we were looking at the floor plan diagram, let's just take a look at our document for a minute. Oops. My bad. Can't make this any bigger, I apologize at the moment. But we are looking at we're kind of here. It looks like the stairs themselves are kind of sticking out a little bit further to here and kind of halfway in between this. So we need to figure out the stairs are going to come up underneath the second bedroom and come out right here and then go this direction upwards. As you can see, the downward arrow is going the opposite direction. And then there's like a little window here at the corner. So I'm going to assume that that corner, that outside corner, is probably that corner here. And so at this point, this is where Floor Planner becomes challenging because you cannot see the layer below you while you're working in 2D. And so you're going to have to kind of figure out, like, where are the stairs going to be coming out? And if the stairs are going to be coming out in an area that might be an impossibility, you could modify the second floor to reflect that and into, you know, to give you that ability. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this guy here and I want to nudge. This is horizontal. I'm going to delete that door altogether. Delete this wall altogether. Just elongate it out a little bit further. Draw the wall. Connection. We can even add the door a little bit later. The idea is upstairs will be coming up and out over here. Okay, which would give you then obviously access to the bedrooms that are upstairs here. And so at this point, I'm going to quickly jump back over to my 3D. And now my second floor, my second floor, and my first floor are different. and I'm trying to get, for lack of a better view, these stairs kind of come out right there, right? We're not going to be able to put holes in the floor like we would if this was Chief Architect, but we're just trying to get this to be the approximate location and where things are going to be. So stairs aren't going to be the thing that you're going to master today. I don't know if you can master the stairs in this program. They're technically clunky. They don't seem to work very well. However, getting them into the approximate location is helpful. So if I go back to 2D, switch down to first floor, I can see that my stairwell is interfering with, let's say, the wall that's here, right? And if I were to mess with this, I could stretch this out. And as you can see here, maybe I'll bring this down a little bit. And I'll move this up. And if I switch to 3D, you can kind of see where the stairwell would start. You walk up this hallway, take a right. If we can cut this hole in the corner, this maybe should be back a little bit so you can get through here. At this point, you don't have to put in a passageway right here, just because we're just trying to approximately play around with stairs, but really the main point is to create multiple floors. Okay, so if the stairs aren't perfect, that's not critical, but creating a second floor, just like you can see here, and understanding where the stairs are coming up, being able to switch to 3D, seeing your second floor, all of that is obviously important. Of course, you're going to have to put your doors and your windows in everywhere that you can see. Try to decorate the home the way that you would see that it would be furnished if you were living in it, which is another reason why I said not to pick a very complicated, large floor plan, because obviously that's just more work for you. And then when you're done, create a presentation of a variety of pictures that show me, that prove to me that you have multiple floors and how they connect. So take use of the 3D tool and then the show floors below. Even with the spacing, you have a camera that can move you up and down based on what you want to quickly see and zoom into. And then pay attention to what floor you're on. We could have a basement floor, right? So first floor, second floor, furnish, and then we'll move on. But at this point, you know how to create a first floor, and then now you know how to duplicate a second floor by clicking the gear, clicking duplicate, changing the name, and positioning where it should be. Okay. So I know this was long. I am 28 minutes in, so pan through this video if you've even gotten this far into the video. Hopefully it's useful, and I'm going to stop at this moment because this isn't designed for you to follow number by number, but to generally understand how to do this. Wasn't perfect, however, this should get the task done and give you the general idea. So spend a little bit more time and care on it than I have for my demonstration, and think about the things that I've run into with my floor plan of choice. Maybe there was an easier one. Okay, so happy designing, and I could talk about riding a bike all day, as I've said, but until you ride that bike, you won't fully understand the things that I'm explaining. So please try. Nothing will happen if you do something poorly. Don't be afraid of failure, and you'll learn from your mistakes moving around. Have a good day.